I grew up in Ohio, and this happened when I was 19. My friend Tyler invited me to a house party in an old rental home near the woods. It wasn't a big house, just a two-floor place with a weird smell like wet dirt. Tyler said it used to belong to an old couple who passed away years ago. The party started normal. People danced, someone connected a speaker, and the lights were dim. But I kept noticing something strange. Every time I walked through the hallway near the kitchen, I felt cold wind coming from somewhere. The windows were shut and the doors were locked, so I didn't understand. Around midnight, a group of us were sitting in the living room when we suddenly heard a loud thump coming from the kitchen. Everyone got quiet. Tyler laughed. "Relax, it's probably the old pipes," he said. But I didn't think it was the pipes. It sounded too heavy, like someone fell. A guy named Matt decided to check. He walked into the kitchen and called out, "Hey, anyone here?" No answer. He stepped further inside, then shouted, "Yo, what the hell? There's a door here!" We all rushed in, and he was right. There, behind a small wooden shelf, was an old basement door. None of us had seen it before. Even Tyler looked confused. "I swear this wasn't here," he said. "I've been living here for 4 months." Everyone thought he was joking. But the dust on the shelf, it hadn't been moved in years. The floor was clean where the shelf had been standing. The door had been hidden for a long time, and yet somehow tonight it had been pushed open a little. Someone shined a phone flashlight through the crack. We saw stairs leading down, but the bottom was hidden in darkness. Matt, being stupid and drunk, said, "I'm going down there." Everyone warned him not to, but he had already opened the door wide. A horrible smell came up, like rotting wood and something metallic, something old. He stepped down slowly. We waited. "Matt, silence." "Bro, stop messing around," Tyler yelled. Then we heard him scream. We all froze. It didn't sound like a joke. It was a short, sharp, terrified scream that cut off suddenly. "Call 911, someone yelled. But at that same moment, we heard footsteps climbing the stairs, fast, heavy, almost running. We all backed up, expecting Matt to burst out in panic. But it wasn't him. Something hit the door hard from the other side. The entire door shook, then again and again. Whatever it was wanted to get out. People ran from the kitchen screaming. I stayed with Tyler and 2 others, not knowing what to do. The banging kept getting louder. Finally, the noise stopped. Complete silence. Tyler whispered, "Matt, dude, please." Nothing. We slowly closed the basement door and pushed the shelf back. 15 minutes later, the police arrived. When the officers opened the basement door, they walked down carefully with flashlights. After 10 minutes, they came back up. "We didn't find anyone," the officer said. We stared at him. "Not even Matt?" Tyler asked. "No one. But we did find something unusual. The basement is just a small room. No back door, no window, just concrete walls, but there are deep scratch marks everywhere." "From what?" I asked. The officer looked at us and said, "From inside the walls." We tried calling Matt's phone. It rang once, and then the line cut. The police searched the woods, the house, everywhere. Matt was never found. Weeks later, Tyler moved out. Before he left, he messaged me, "Bro, the basement door is gone." I didn't understand. He sent me a picture. The wall was smooth. No door, no scratches, no frame, no hinges. It was like the door had never existed. To this day, nobody knows what happened in that basement. And sometimes late at night, I wonder if that door ever really wanted to be found, or if someone or something down there was just waiting for the party to find it. This happened in 2018 in rural Indiana. I was at a house party for my friend's 21st birthday. The house was an old farmhouse with one big problem. There was a long, narrow backyard that ended at a small forest. The windows had no curtains, just big open glass panes facing the woods. Around 11 p.m., the mood was perfect. Music, drinks, laughter. People kept taking pictures near the windows because the night sky looked nice. But then someone noticed something weird. In every picture taken near the window, there was a girl's reflection. A girl none of us knew. At first, we thought it was someone photobombing, but the reflection looked pale and blurry, and her hair covered her face. My friend Aaron zoomed into her photo and said, "Guys, she's not in the room." Everyone checked. The room was full, but no girl matched the reflection. We all got a little freaked out, but we tried to ignore it. Around midnight, the power suddenly cut out. The whole house went dark. Someone turned on their phone flashlight. The atmosphere changed instantly. Everyone felt watched. That's when we heard a soft tap, tap, tap on the window behind us. Probably a branch, someone whispered. But there was no wind. Someone pointed a flashlight at the window. We all screamed. There, standing outside in the dark, was the same girl from the reflection. Her face pressed against the glass, eyes wide, mouth open but silent. Her skin looked gray, like she hadn't been alive for years. She didn't move, she didn't blink, she just stared. People ran to the center of the room. Some dropped their drinks, someone started crying. The tapping started again, this time from another window, then another, and another. We turned our flashlights toward them, only to see more pale faces peering in from the darkness. 5, 6, maybe more. Silent, watching. Aaron whispered, "What do they want?" No one answered. Suddenly the power came back on, the lights flickered, and all the faces disappeared instantly. We called the police. When they arrived, they checked the yard. There were no footprints in the dirt, even though it had rained earlier. But there was something on the window glass. Fingerprints. Small, thin, childlike fingerprints. The police told us the land behind the house used to be an orphanage in the early 1900s. A fire destroyed it, killing several children. The owner of the house said the ghosts sometimes appeared during storms or large gatherings. But one thing was certain, every single photo taken that night had the girl in it, even the ones taken before we saw her. I used to live in Florida, and when I was in college, my roommate Joshua threw a party in our rented house. It was a small place, but there was one rule from the landlord: do not open the door at the end of the hallway. He didn't explain why. He didn't say what was inside, just told us to keep it locked. Of course, during a party, someone always wants to break the rules. Around 1 a.m., we heard a loud noise, like a door slamming. People ran out of the hallway yelling that the locked room had been opened. Joshua panicked. Who opened it? The door stood wide open. We walked closer. It was just a dark, empty room. No furniture, no windows, nothing. Just a wooden floor and a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. Everyone thought it was nothing, until the light bulb started swinging. Back and forth, like someone had just been standing under it. People left the hallway quickly, but an hour later, weird things started happening. Someone said they saw a shadow in the hallway. Another said they heard footsteps inside the room. At 2 a.m., our friend Chloe went missing. We searched the whole house. Nothing. Finally, someone said they saw her go into the locked room earlier. We rushed to the hallway and found the door closed again. We opened it. Nothing unusual. No Chloe. But there were wet footprints on the wooden floor. Small footprints. Child-sized. The landlord arrived after we called him in panic. When he saw the room open, he turned pale. "You idiots," he whispered. "I kept that door sealed for a reason." We all stared at him. There was a little boy who lived here in the 90s. He disappeared during a party, just like tonight. His last footprints were found inside this room, but the room was empty. The police never found him. We asked him what he meant by sealed. He said the room was built over an old well, a well they never filled. We pushed the floorboards aside. Underneath was a wooden cover. We lifted it. A deep, dark hole stared back at us, and from inside the darkness we heard Chloe's voice, weak, crying. "Help! I can't get out." We were terrified. We called rescue services immediately. They pulled her out after 30 minutes. She was shaking, crying, and said she felt hands around her feet the whole time. But when she came out of the well, she had deep scratch marks on her ankles. Small finger marks, child-sized. This happened in Nevada in 2021. A high school reunion party was happening at an Airbnb cabin in the desert. The place was beautiful, big living room, open kitchen, a backyard facing the sand dunes. Everything was fun until around midnight, when one of the guys, Leo, said, "Hey, did anyone invite the girl in the black dress?" We all looked at him. "What girl?" we asked. "That one," he said, pointing toward the hallway. We all turned. For a split second, we saw her, a tall woman in a long black dress standing at the end of the hallway. Then she stepped back into the darkness and disappeared. Everyone froze. No one had seen her before. No extra guests had arrived. We checked the entire house. All the rooms were empty. Around 1:30 a.m., weird things began to happen. Someone said they heard a woman whispering in the bathroom. Someone else said they saw a shadow walk behind them in the kitchen. A girl fainted because she felt someone breathe next to her ear. Finally, we checked the Airbnb guest book. On the very last page, written in shaky handwriting, was the message, "If you see the woman in black, leave immediately." Behind it was another note, older, barely visible. "She only appears when someone here is about to die." We all wanted to leave, but the desert roads were too dark and narrow. We decided to stay together in the living room. Around 3 a.m., Leo suddenly stood up. "Someone's calling me," he whispered. "No one is calling you," we said. But he kept staring at the hallway. "She wants me to follow her." Before anyone could stop him, he walked into the hallway. We heard soft footsteps, then silence, then a loud scream. We ran to the hallway. Leo was gone. The front door was wide open. The freezing desert wind blew in. We called 911. They searched for hours. In the morning, the police found Leo's body 3 miles from the cabin, lying in the sand. No footprints around him, no tire tracks. Just his own footprints, walking in a straight line into the desert, like he had followed someone unseen. The autopsy report said he died of extreme shock. To this day, people say if you stay in that cabin and see the woman in black, she won't hurt you, but she will choose someone, and they will follow her.